Aging is inevitable. The calendar moves forward, the clock ticks down, and, honestly, there is absolutely nothing you can do to stop the passage of time. Kinda daunting, right? But here is the secret that completely flips the script. While stacking up those years is mandatory, how your body actually responds to that ticking clock, well, that is entirely within your control. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to break down the hard science of reclaiming your strength, your energy, and your overall vitality after the age of 40.
Okay, let's dive into this. Emergency physician Dr. Seth Capehart has seen a pretty stark reality firsthand working in the ER. He treats guys in their 90s who are as spry, sharp, and capable as guys literally half their age. And then, on the flip side, he treats men barely in their 40s who physically present as if they're in their 90s. I mean, it's wild. But it proves a really vital concept. Your chronological age, that number on your driver's license, absolutely does not dictate your biological age. The guys who stay young and strong, they understand the science of aging and exactly how to fight it.
Section 1. The 4 Enemies of Youth. The hidden drivers dismantling your body.
Right now, literally as you sit there watching this, there's an unseen cellular breakdown happening inside your body. Because aging isn't just getting older, it's a microscopic dismantling driven by 4 specific hidden enemies. First up, mitochondrial decline. You probably remember from high school biology that mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell. And yeah, they really are. They create your energy, fuel your muscle function, and keep your brain sharp. But as we get older, these powerhouses get, kind of lazy. They become less efficient. And when your mitochondria decline, it leads directly to chronic fatigue, way slower recovery times, and that insidious fat gain that creeps up over the years.
And this brilliantly illustrates our second enemy, defined by a seemingly tiny number, 1%. Sounds minor, doesn't it? But this is the exact amount your testosterone drops every single year after you hit age 30. Hormonal decline is a massive driver of aging, and men today are already facing all-time lows in testosterone across the board. This steady 1% drop year after year, that's what leads to muscle loss, fat gain, and just a total drain on your everyday motivation. Then we've got the third enemy, inflammation and oxidative stress. Look, every single day, your cells are taking a beating. They're getting damaged by environmental toxins, poor diets, and just regular daily stress. And over time, that damage doesn't magically disappear. It silently accumulates. That buildup triggers chronic inflammation, which is actually the root cause of that nagging joint pain you might be feeling, and it vastly increases your risk for serious stuff, like heart disease and cancer.
Finally, enemy number 4, sarcopenia. That's just the fancy scientific term for age-related muscle loss. But please don't think of muscle loss as some abstract, far-off concept. It's an active, aggressive threat to your health right now. If you aren't actively maintaining your muscle mass today, you are actively losing it. It's that simple. And less muscle translates immediately into a slower metabolism, a frail body, and a massively higher risk of injuring yourself doing simple, everyday tasks.
Section 2. The Anti-Aging Blueprint. Your science-backed protocol for longevity.
Now, take a deep breath. I know those 4 enemies sound pretty intimidating, but here is the incredibly good news. The science shows us that you can fight every single one of them. You do not have to surrender to the decline. So, here's your master plan. These 4 steps form your definitive protocol. Think of this as your ultimate anti-aging insurance policy. If you execute these 4 steps, building muscle, optimizing hormones, dialing in fasting and nutrition, and committing to daily mobility, you're going to effectively slam the brakes on your biological clock. Let's break them down.
Step 1 is building and maintaining muscle. If you only take away one single thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this warning. Without deliberate intervention, you are going to lose 3 to 5% of your muscle mass every decade after 40. Just let that sink in. If you do nothing, your strength evaporates, your metabolism tanks, and your energy completely bottoms out. Lifting weights is, quite frankly, non-negotiable.
So, what's the actual protocol here? You need to be strength training 3 to 4 times a week. And no, you can't just casually sit on the gym machines looking at your phone. You've got to focus heavily on compound movements. We're talking squats, deadlifts, presses, and pull-ups. These specific moves are mandatory because they recruit multiple muscle groups all at once. That's what stimulates the maximal amount of muscle growth, keeps your metabolism burning incredibly hot, and naturally boosts your testosterone.
So, the crucial point is this. The goal isn't just to live long. It's to be strong and capable while doing it. Having muscle isn't about vanity or looking good at the beach. It's literally the foundational pillar of longevity. In fact, high muscle mass is one of the absolute biggest predictors of a longer, healthier life.
A lot of guys make the huge mistake of only doing cardio as they get older. And hey, cardio is fantastic for your heart, absolutely. But if you're skipping the strength training, you are actively accelerating your own aging process.
All right, moving to step 2, optimize your testosterone and hormones. Make no mistake, testosterone is the absolute king of male hormones. It's the master controller for how you feel, how quickly you recover from stress and exercise, and how fast you age. If you ignore that 1% annual drop we talked about earlier and just let it plummet unchecked, you will inevitably lose that hard-earned muscle, pack on stubborn belly fat, and just feel sluggish all the time.
Thankfully, you have a really potent arsenal of natural hormone defenders at your disposal. First, you've got to supply your body with the right building blocks, specifically zinc, magnesium, boron, vitamin D, and healthy fats. Second, you have to manage your stress. Chronic stress floods your system with cortisol, and cortisol literally suffocates your testosterone production. So use meditation, get into cold exposure, or honestly just disconnect from your screens for a bit to get that stress under control. And third, you absolutely must prioritize your sleep.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the harsh mathematical reality of poor sleep. See, your body manufactures testosterone while you're sleeping. If you're grinding away trying to survive on just 5 or 6 hours a night, your testosterone drops by a devastating 15 to 20%. No joke. You need to be aiming for 7 to 9 hours of deep, high-quality sleep. Track it if you have to. And I should definitely mention, if you dial all this in and your levels are still clinically low, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, is a highly valid, potentially life-changing medical option that you should absolutely discuss with your doctor.
Okay, step 3 shifts our focus straight into the kitchen, fasting and high-quality nutrition. Listen, it is not an exaggeration to say that what you eat, and exactly when you eat it, acts as the main control panel for your biological clock. Your nutrition directly dictates your rate of aging, your baseline inflammation levels, and your overall risk of chronic disease.
To master the when you eat part of the equation, we look to the 16-8 intermittent fasting window. This just means you fast for 16 hours of the day and consume all your meals within an 8-hour window. And this specific timing protocol, it's incredibly powerful. It helps control your blood sugar, naturally boosts your growth hormone, and even helps your body fight off cellular mutations like cancer. Let's move to and see how this builds into an incredible biological mechanism called autophagy. Think of autophagy as your body's own highly efficient internal cleanout crew. When you fast, your body literally hunts down damaged, inefficient cells, clears out the junk, and regenerates brand new, healthy ones. Fasting flips the switch on this exact process, which directly increases both your health span and your lifespan.
Now, as for the what you eat part, the contrast is super stark. You've got to choose optimal fuels. We're talking steak, eggs, wild-caught fish, avocados, and olive oil. These healthy proteins and fats are what actually support your brain and maintain your muscle. On the flip side, you have the aging accelerators, industrial seed oils, and refined sugars. These processed junk foods are the literal drivers of inflammation, hormone imbalances, and type 2 diabetes. Remember, the cleaner your fuel, the slower you age.
Which brings us to our final step. Step 4, move daily and stay mobile. We have to completely shift our paradigm here, guys. You need to accept this fact right now. Joint pain, stiffness, and low energy are not just normal aging. They just aren't. They are the direct, entirely predictable results of living a sedentary lifestyle. We need to stop accepting stiffness as a given and start demanding lifelong athleticism from our bodies. To actually do that, you've got to hit specific daily mobility targets. First, you need to be walking 8,000 to 10,000 steps every single day. Second, you must incorporate dedicated stretching or mobility work to keep your joints lubricated and moving smoothly. And perhaps most importantly, stay active outside the weight room. Go swim, shoot some hoops, play a sport. The ultimate goal here is to ensure you remain pain-free, fully mobile, and completely capable of running around and playing with your kids and eventually grandkids for decades to come. Section 3. Taking control. The power to choose your future.
Look, getting older is guaranteed. That's just a fact of life. But aging does not have to mean getting weak, frail, and broken. If you actually take this blueprint, if you commit to building the muscle, optimizing your hormones, cleaning up your nutrition, and staying fiercely mobile, you hold the absolute power to choose exactly what your future looks like. So I'm going to leave you with this final question to think about. When you are 70, will you feel like you're 30? Don't wait until you're 70 to start wishing you had taken action. Do it right now, today. You've got the blueprint. The rest, well, that's entirely up to you.